going on, guys? So today we're going on a job. I have to cut down a tree. This is going to be the first time I'll be using the Artillian Double Grapple. You guys have seen me use this the single grapple plenty of times in my prior videos, but this will be the very first time I use the second grapple here. Figured it'd be a good job to try it out on because I have to cut down a pretty decent sized tree, and this way when I get done bucking up all the branches and logs, I can haul them away with this. It's going to be nice having the two grapples on the front. That way I can grab a hold of more stuff and get a more secure grapple on it. Because once I buck it all up, the lady that I'm cutting this tree down for, she wants me to grapple all the wood and put it all off into the woods. And it's going to be a pretty long haul, so I wanted something that's going to give me a good grip on the logs on the way over, because I got to drive down a big field before I even get to the wood line. So you guys will see that though when I get there. As far as what I'm bringing with me, I'm bringing this Stihl 024, and then I'm also bringing my Milwaukee cordless saw. I've got a couple extra batteries here with me, couple extra wedges, some rope if I got to pull the tree down, some screwdrivers, ratchets, stuff like that, so that if I have to adjust the chains and stuff I can. Got a gallon of fuel here with me, and of course splitting mulch. So should have everything we need here. I'm going to load up the tractor on the trailer, which I have just on the other side of this door here. So I'm going to jump on the tractor here and get it all loaded up, put the rest of the stuff in the back of my bed here, and we'll be on our way. Alright guys, so here's the tree that I got to cut down. Pretty good sized tree. You can see it's got all these stems coming off of it. It's got one big center tree, and then it's got two over here and one over here. Little legs coming off of it. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'll cut off these two front ones first because they're shorter. I'll cut these, cut that one, I'll buck them up, get them out of here, that way they're not in the way, because if I drop it all together, I'm going to have a big mess here, and I'm not going to be able to get in here with the grapple, or even cut it up, because I'll have just a mess on the ground. So I might just do these individually. These aren't too big, so maybe I'll drop all three of these legs at once, and then do it like that. We've got a tree here, so I know this one's gonna hit this tree when it falls, but hopefully I can get it out of there. Maybe I'll grab it with the tractor or the chain and just pull it out if it does get hung up in the tree there. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. We're gonna buck it up, we're gonna drop it, buck it up, and then we're gonna carry it out in the field back there, which I'll show you when I pick up the first one. I'll show you guys where I'm dropping it all. But basically we got to drive down a field and it'll be in a woods line. That way it's out of her way. But yeah, this tree's deader than dead. So you guys might remember this house. This house is a place I did the driveway. I think like 3 years ago I redid this driveway. You see it really needs it again. The grass is starting to come up in the center here, but it's definitely not as bad as it was before the first time I did it. The first time we did this driveway though, I think she didn't want to spend a whole lot on rock, so we only got like 10 ton maybe, which it could have used like 20 or 30 ton. But we made it work with what we had. But if you guys haven't seen that video, I will link it right here, and you could see me when I did this driveway like 2-3 years ago with the tractor. So but anyway, I'm gonna grab the saws out, we'll get these dropped and get to work here. All right, so we got one of the legs dropped and bucked up. Now I'm working on this one right here. I got to wedge it out still, but I've got a rope on the top of it going to my tractor over here. So the plan is, once I wedge it out, I'm going to put as much tension as I can with the tractor. That way I can get it pulling this way, because if it falls this way, it might hit her sign here in this bush. So I really want to direct it towards the driveway if I can. So it'd be nice if I had another person here to put tension on the tractor, but I'm just going to have to put as much on it as I can when I back cut it. guys. Well, so far the Artillian Grapple is doing a really good job having this double grapple on here. Being able to grab some of those awkward loads that I was grabbing, just having the second grapple makes a big difference in, you know, your carrying capabilities without dropping stuff. The single grapple works really great too, and what's nice about the single grapple is it's a lot lighter, so you can pick up a lot heavier things with it. But the double grapple is nice when you're picking up lighter stuff like this, and you really need that extra clamping force, especially because I'm carrying it such a far away. It's able to hold it and not, you know, eventually all fall apart and drop out the grapple. So that's a really nice thing. But anyway, we've got the two legs taken off the tree, the two major legs. We've got one smaller one here. I'm gonna get up on the ladder and I'm gonna just knock this top off here. That way it doesn't get hung up in this tree, and then I'll drop the rest of it off. And then we just got this one main one left. So let's get to it. We'll get this one cut up, and then we'll get onto this last one here. Well, that's twice today the tree took out my camera. I don't know what it's got against my camera, but it seems like it's aiming for you. Alright, well, we got everything cleaned up here from what we just dropped. Alright, well, we got everything cleaned up here from the legs that we dropped. So now we got left is the main tree here. It's really close to these power lines right here, so I'm kind of nervous about it, to be honest with you. I've got my tractor over there with the rope, just like I did that first tree. I'm going to try to climb up here and right around that, that limb right there. I'm going to tie the rope. Then my plan is to put a lot of tension on it with the tractor and then lock the e-brake like I did with the other one, so it's got a lot of tension on it. And then I'll make my cut. I'll make my back cut, and as soon as I start hearing it pop a little bit, I'll stop and I'll get in the tractor and I'll hopefully be able to pull this thing over, and that way I can direct it down with the tractor versus just hoping it's going to come down where I want it to, just because of those power lines being directly behind it. So yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully we can pull it down. I'm hoping to land it right, you know, right in through here. Hopefully I got my tractor far enough away. I really don't feel like getting hit in the head with a limb. I just kind of eyeballed it. I don't know, maybe I should move it a little bit more. But let's get this thing cut and see what happens here. Alright, so the plan is to make my back cut. Once I see it start to loosen tension on the rope, I'm hoping I can catch it in time where I can jump on a tractor and pull it over. Otherwise, it might just drop without me pulling on it, and that's what I don't want, because then it might loosen slack up and go a different direction. So we'll see what happens here. Why wouldn't it get stuck on the hinge? Beautiful. Landed right where I wanted it to, right on the driveway here. Perfect. So now we get this thing bucked up. I didn't tell you guys, the neighbor came over and talked to me. He wanted the log portions of these trees. I've been putting them right by his garage over there. He wants to use them for firewood, so that works for both of us. So basically, I'm just taking up this smaller stuff, and I'm dragging that back to the woods there, and then all the big logs I've been bringing over there. So let's get this thing bucked up and take care of the rest of this tree. All right, guys, we got the tractor all loaded back up. All my equipment's back in the truck. Come over here and I'll show you guys real quick how it turned out. Definitely looks much better now without that tree in the way. That thing was so ugly and hideous, and it was kind of blocking the view for the driveway and our front yard here. I ended up raking out just the small stuff into 3 little piles for her. Said she's gonna pick it up with her little lawnmower and her wagon. She said don't worry about that. It's a 90-degree day out today, so I am absolutely dying. It's been 90 degrees with like 80% humidity. My chainsaw wasn't acting right. I don't know if I got a bad mix of fuel that I put in it because it was running good before I came here, or if it's just too hot and needed to be retuned. But my Stihl chainsaw there, it just really wasn't running good at all. And then my Milwaukee saw got the job done for the most part, but at the end of the day here, the battery started to die. The battery started to overheat. They still had plenty of life left in them, but just being out in the sun like this, they got too hot and they started flashing on me. So I had just enough to get it all done though, which is good. She's gonna have someone come back with a big bar on a chainsaw and cut this stump, because I got nothing that's gonna be that big. That thing's pretty darn wide, probably 3 foot around. So she's gonna have someone come back to do that. But aside from that, it looks much better now. Got it all cleaned up, raked up. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, get going home. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go sit in the AC and take a nice cold shower. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe as always. We'll see you guys in the next one.